Hey, this is Reese Stidham. I'm a lawyer at Howell and Christmas, and this brief video is designed to get you ready for your functional capacity exam, or FCE. If you've reached this part in your case, chances are that your doctor has said you're as good as you're going to get, or you are approaching maximum medical improvement, and it is time to determine what your permanent work restrictions are going to be. So these functional capacity exams are designed to determine what you are physically capable of doing or not doing for 8 hours a day for a 40-hour work week. It's an important part of your case, so we want you to be as educated as you can be going into it. Now, this may be an exam that was ordered by the insurance company, or this may be an exam that was requested by us on your behalf. Either way, you need to approach them both in the same manner, and the key to remember is to provide a consistent effort, because these exams take place over a short period of time. They're a series of physical tests that a trained evaluator will put you through over the course of maybe 2 or 4 or 5 hours, and they extrapolate that information over to a 40-hour work week. So it's important that you give a consistent effort throughout the entire exam. Don't go in there and overperform and do something and be Superman or Wonder Woman and do something that you know that you could never consistently do for a 40-hour work week. But also, it's very important that you don't go in there and underperform, because these evaluators are trained to detect what's called symptom magnification, or Waddell signs. What Waddell signs are is there was a orthopedic surgeon, the last name Waddell, and he came up with a series of tests to determine if somebody was gaming the system or not being honest about their pain and their symptoms. For example, if you have a low back injury and your evaluator presses down on the top of your head and says, or asks you, does that replicate your low back pain? If you say yes, that could be a positive Waddell sign, because pressing down on the top of your head really should not biologically replicate a low back injury pain. Another test that they may put you through with a low back injury is they may ask you to lay down on your back and twist your torso with your legs. In other words, roll over and rolling your legs with you so that your low back is not twisting. And if you report that that creates low back pain, again, that really shouldn't physiologically reproduce a low back injury, and that can be interpreted as a positive Waddell sign. So understand that they are not always testing you on what they say they are testing you on. They conduct things that are called a distraction test. In other words, if you have a bad knee or a bad back, and they may say, all right, in this test we're going to have you push or pull a lever as many times as you can in a minute. Well, they're not interested in how many times you're pushing or pulling this lever in a minute. They are watching you to see if you grimace, for instance, when you get down into the chair or when you get up out of the chair. They also do things like take your pulse. They'll take your blood pressure. If you are one of these people that has what we call white coat syndrome, and you get nervous when you go to the doctor, or you don't like it when somebody takes your blood pressure, let them know about it beforehand, because that's going to affect your results. If you are reporting that you are in a significant amount of pain, keep in mind that they are going to take your blood pressure, take your pulse, because somebody who's experiencing a large amount of pain, they're going to have elevated blood pressure, they're going to have an elevated heart rate. It's also important to get the evaluator's contact information, because when that exam is over, you may go home and you may feel okay, but you may wake up the next morning and be stiff as a board or be in a lot of pain. So it's important that you contact the evaluator to let them know how you're doing the next day so that their report can be complete as possible. And again, I'm not sure if I mentioned earlier, these evaluators will sometimes watch you get out of the car in the parking lot, watch the way that you walk, and they may watch you leave the facility and see if you walk the same way that you walked in, or if you were limping on the way in and not on the way out. So keep in mind you're always being watched. You may not be being tested on what you're being tested on. So again, the key is give a consistent effort, because over this short period of time they are trying to figure out what you can do for a 40-hour work week. Now, this is not the end-all be-all. This is one tool that your doctor will use to help determine what your permanent work restrictions are going to be. So as always, with any part of your case, if you have any questions, pick up the phone and call us. We'd be happy to talk to you about it. I hope this video has helped, and good luck with your case.